The alarm clock rang at 5 a.m. Not loudly, not urgently, just enough to be annoying. Ethan's hand reached out from under the blanket and slapped it silent. Same as yesterday, same as every day before that. He rolled over, staring at the ceiling, already exhausted, yet he hadn't even started the day. 5 more minutes, he whispered to himself. Those 5 minutes turned into 30, all loud. And just like that, another morning slipped away. Ethan wasn't lazy. That's what made it worse. He had dreams, big ones, a better job, financial freedom, respect. He wanted to prove something to his family, to his friends, and mostly to himself. But every morning, his dreams lost a fight to the snooze button. The days had started to feel the same. Wake up late, rush, complain, survive, sleep, repeat. One Tuesday morning, everything changed. Not because something amazing happened, but because something embarrassing did. Ethan missed an important meeting at work. Not because of traffic, not because he was sick, because he overslept. Again, his manager didn't yell, didn't argue, didn't even look angry. She just said one sentence. Ethan, your talent isn't the problem. Your discipline is. That sentence hit harder than any punishment ever could. That night, Ethan lay in bed staring at his alarm clock. 5 a.m., same time as always. But this time, he didn't feel sleepy. He felt angry. Angry at himself, at his excuses, at the version of him that always said tomorrow. He grabbed his phone and wrote one simple line in his notes. If I can't control my mornings, I don't deserve my dreams. Then he placed the alarm clock across the room, far enough that he'd have to stand up to turn it off. The next morning, the alarm rang. And for the first time, Ethan didn't hit snooze. He stood there, half asleep, heart pounding. This was the moment. Go back to bed and be the same guy, or stay awake and become someone new. His body begged for sleep. His mind screamed excuses, but something inside him whispered back, enough. He went to the bathroom, splashed cold water on his face, and looked at himself in the mirror. Tired eyes, messy hair, average man. He said out loud, "You're not staying average." That first morning was brutal. He didn't know what to do. He just sat on the edge of his bed, unsure. But instead of going back to sleep, he put on his shoes and stepped outside. The air was quiet. The streets were empty. No distractions, no noise. For the first time in years, the world felt calm. He walked, not fast, not far, just enough to get moving. That became day 1. The next day, he woke up again. Day 2, still tired, still tempted, but he moved. Little by little, mornings stopped being painful and started becoming powerful. Ethan began using his mornings to work on himself. No phone, no social media, no excuses. Some days he exercised, some days he read, some days he planned his goals. He didn't try to change his whole life at once. He just kept one promise: wake up and take action. Weeks passed. Something strange started happening. He wasn't more talented. He wasn't smarter. He wasn't luckier. But he was different, more focused, more confident, more consistent. At work, people noticed. He spoke with clarity, delivered on time, showed leadership. The same manager who once doubted him now asked, "What changed?" Ethan smiled and said, "My mornings." But the real test came a few months later. Ethan received an opportunity he had dreamed about, a promotion that would double his responsibility. And his fear returned. What if I fail? What if I'm not ready? That old voice tried to come back, but then he remembered the mornings, the alarm, the discipline, the work no one saw. He accepted the challenge, and he didn't just survive, he excelled. Because success didn't come from motivation, it came from routine, from showing up when it was hard, from action before comfort, from consistency before confidence. Years later, Ethan still wakes up early, not because it's easy, but because it reminds him who he chose to become. He now understands something powerful. The alarm clock isn't your enemy. It's your first test of the day. Every morning it asks you one question: will you take action or hit snooze on your life again? And the people who win are the ones who answer that alarm with action.